What up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday episode of Dodgers Territory. I'm Alanna Rizzo. That is Clint Pasillas. This is our third show of the week. We are happy that you are with us. Please rate us 5 stars, like, subscribe, all of the things. We are working our way to 10,000 subs, and we appreciate all of you, especially those that have been with us since the beginning. Clint, it was a good series.
Yep.
Trevor May should be joining us in moments to talk about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking
Dodgers
pitching
fans.
with Trevor. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But, hey, Dodgers swept. That's what we wanted, right? That's what we were looking for, the Dodgers to beat down on those lowly Rockies. It could have been, should have been more of a beatdown, but it worked. You got what you needed. 3 wins out of it, and we'll talk about that more, why it could have been better and why it wasn't as great as we talk Bobby Miller here in the big ticket.
Yeah, and that news was kind of coming out, Clint, about 1:30 this afternoon Eastern time, as far as the Dodgers have decided to option Bobby Miller back to the minor leagues. It was a weird kind of Jekyll and Hyde type of outing for him because the swing and miss was there, Clint, but he also gave up the 6 earned runs. So he had the 7 strikeouts and 6 earned runs in the outing. And, it's just odd because it was like, okay, you did have the walk, you had the 6 earned runs, but you have 6 ER in 3 innings, and that's just not going to get it done. So for that, he has been optioned back down. And you had mentioned something on X that perhaps this kid's just not a big league caliber pitcher. When you and I had talked on, I think it was Tuesday night, about the fact that he was going to be making the start, we said, listen, I just hope that mentally he can handle this, and that, it's more of a growth that he's had mentally and physically, but I'm not certain, that this is the way, as far as the Dodgers are concerned, rolling him back out there.
Yeah, it was every bit of a struggle. Not for me, not terribly surprising. It's kind of who we thought he is, who we thought he is. If you're somebody who's followed him through his minor league career and some of the scouting report stuff, in my opinion, that 2023 was more of an anomaly, more of a symptom of, hey, we thought he was good because everybody else was so bad around him. Now, we didn't expect him to go out there and give up as many runs. I mean, yeah, the strikeout numbers are real nice. You like seeing this weird ERA split, or sorry, a strikeout, but the weird ERA. But you look at these kind of numbers, the point I'm trying to get to here, those first 23 starts, pretty nice, as my buddy Blake Harris points out. Last 13, not very good with the 10.02 ERA. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to get the job done. And all of a sudden, we're watching Bobby Miller go out there, another one of the vaunted Dodgers depth pieces when it comes to starting pitching, not get the job done. Wrobleski struggled, Landon Knack has had his issues, and now this guy. Granted, all of those dudes were lower in the pecking order, but is this a concern? To answer the question, I don't think he's a major league capable starter. Maybe bullpen is in his future. I'm going to talk about that more, deep dive into that on my channel. But starting pitching-wise, early in the season, it's kind of a concern ever since Blake Snell went down.
That's the thing. I think Blake Snell was that massive domino that fell, and here we thought, he was only going to miss 2 starts. It wasn't going to be a big deal. He's not even throwing off of a mound yet. He's throwing off of flat ground right now, essentially playing catch. So you're having to fill in the gaps with Blake Snell on the shelf, and Bobby Miller and Justin Wrobleski and Landon Knack are not good gap fillers right now. And I think that's what we're seeing, is that the depth of this team really is more of a depth for the latter part of this first half of the season or the second half of the season. The good news is Clayton Kershaw out on a rehab assignment. Tony Gonsolin seems to be primed to come back soon. But the thing is, it's just, these are kids that should not be pitching at the big league level. When you go into the season with the Dodgers starting pitching depth, we're like, oh my gosh, look at the amount of arms that we have.
Yeah.
And now we're thinking like, oh my gosh, who's going to be throwing on this day, and who's the TBD, and who are they calling up, and what makes the most sense? So it's just so funny how quickly things can turn around. I don't think, and I never have thought, that Bobby Miller was the answer. No. I'm not certain that Landon Knack is the answer, and Justin Wrobleski is not the answer. But this is the arms. These are the arms that the Dodgers have at the moment.
Yep.
I think everything is still going to be fine. I
Pets' heads
still,
are not falling off. I agree.
if you take the Dodgers and you put them in the American League, they have the best record in the AL. Okay. So you look at that and it's just, again, if he was healthy, Sarah Hoagman brings up a really good point. Our producer, if Gavin Stone was healthy, he'd be at the top
Yeah.
of the pecking order, but he's not healthy. So,
Yeah, and you're missing other guys. River Ryan as well. Kyle Hurt injured. Even that he would be more of a bullpen option most likely, but can start. Same with somebody like Brusdar Gratterall. We knew the injuries would play a significant part for this team early in the season. The organization made the decision to kind of push Shohei's return back, which I'm fine with, but then you get yourself in the situation where you're calling on the kids who maybe aren't quite ready for prime time. Louis in the chat asking about Nick Frasso. He's another one of the dudes. This is where I'm not super concerned in the long run about the depth of the staff because we know we know Blake Snell is coming back. Bobby Miller is on his way to the moon, with all due respect. But Blake Snell will be back at some point. Clayton Kershaw, like you said, just started his rehab assignment. He's going to be available to exit the injured list in about a month's time. Tony Gonsolin probably has one more start before he at the minor league level before he rejoins a team. But there's a kid like Nick Frasso who is returning from a shoulder injury and shoulder surgery, but he is somebody that was very high, in the future, in like the depth chart. This was a prospect they really, really loved before the injury. Another guy, Jackson Ferris, could step in if this team needs him. They have the depth. They have options for us to not have to see somebody like Bobby Miller starting for this team again. And whether or not the question becomes, is Bobby Miller ever going to help this team maybe in a relief role, or if it's better for him to find greener pastures elsewhere and kind of have a hard mental reset with a different organization, kind of avoid or get away from some of the expectations. Maybe that helps, but with where we're at with Bobby, there was hope for the kid, but the stuff just isn't quite there. It's not quite big league ready, especially when you're talking about, picking up meaningful starting innings for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I think the only thing that you can expect from anybody is continued improvement and to continue to get better at your craft. And when you're talking about the splits of Bobby Miller and the sharp decline that you were talking about, as you mentioned, the first 23 starts of Miller's career and the last 13 starts are so unbelievably schizophrenic. You see the numbers here again from Blake Harris. 3.59 ERA, which is, it's not sexy, but it's respectable. And then the last 13 starts, super unsexy. 10.02 earned run average in the last 13 starts. He's not getting better. He's not improving. And I don't know certainly why he's not improving, but whether it's mentally or he just doesn't have the stuff or the league is catching up to him, the league is figuring him out. It's not, again, the Dodgers spot you 7 runs, you should be able to win the ball game, correct?
Yeah. It's been a problem.
But he just doesn't have, whatever it's that shutdown inning stuff, whatever it is. And again, I have a hard time saying anything negative because I've never pitched a game in the big leagues, but this is our job, right? We've got to put this team in the best position to win in terms of what we think that is as analysts and as reporters and stuff. And I just don't think Bobby Miller is it. And it's more magnified when you have guys like Blake Snell go down and then the whole starting rotation shifts. And then you have massive necessity for guys to have spot starts. And when you have that spot start, if you're a young kid like a Wroblewski or a Knack or a Miller, you've got to make the most of those opportunities. And so far that's not happening.
Yeah, the good thing for Bobby is he's still young. He's only, I think, 26. He has opportunity ahead of him. Opportunity to still kind of get his career back on track. You would think, the best organization in the world when it comes to finding and refining starting pitching would be the best for him. But again, like the expectations, and you mentioned it earlier in the show as well, it's always between the ears with Bobby. He has these snowball innings and everything just kind of unravels, and you can't even get into the 4th inning for your team while you're trying to make a statement in this first start of the year. Again, the change of scenery just might help him out.
This stuff may play if you're in an organization that doesn't have the depth that this team does. It might play in the Rockies. It might play in the Pirates because they don't have anybody that they're looking over their shoulder that's going to take their place when everybody, the starters do get help. Those are the places in the big leagues where you can develop. When you're with the Dodgers, you can't you can't fix things in the middle of a game. You've got, you've got to be ready to perform, because your time out there is limited, because there is somebody that will take your job in a heartbeat.
We had a super chat here before we throw to our friends at PXG. Appreciate Francisco with the $9.99 super chat. Says Dodgers always plan for the bigger picture. Doesn't make it easier to go through tough times with the prospects playing badly, but more often than not, the Dodgers will right the ship. And yeah, this is one of those situations where I'm not worried. Alanna, I don't believe you're worried about this team. This is like, again, you want these growing pains now rather than what we saw in 2023. And this is where people got enamored with Bobby Miller, is that his we'll call it a sterling 3.76 ERA. He was just one of the best available breathing, living pitchers that was on that team, because Kershaw wasn't available in the postseason. Julio Urias was put on administrative leave and arrested. They had Noah Syndergaard in the starting rotation for weeks. What's his name? Michael Grove. Michael Grove made 12 starts for that team. That team was bad, and there's a reason the Dodgers went out and started signing up everybody. Why this team went and got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I
forgot about Thor. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing, though: you can't have if you have no movement on your fastball. There's no deception on the fastball. You don't have big league hitters are gonna know what. If they know what's coming, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna bode well.
99 miles an hour. Look, we might not hit it, but they're gonna hit it, and we should hit this break right here from our friends at PXG. You're gonna hear about it from AJ Przinsky and Scott Braun.
AJ, it is time for people to get some new clubs, and to do that, they need to go to their local PXG for a fitting, right?
No doubt. I was there today. I've been there before. Last time I was there, they gave me this killer gap wedge. Look at that sweet spot, Scott. It is worn out. That is right in the sweet spot right there. So I went and got new clubs today, new irons. But more importantly, I got this bad boy. I got me a new putter. This is my old putter. It's on order. Yes, that's my putter cover. PXG Mustang putter. Now I'm going to the Allen putter. They talked me into it because I was draining some putts today. Bob, the guy who helped me out, he helped me with my irons. He got them teed up perfectly. But then we went to the putting green. I was draining them putts because that's the most important part of golf.
PXG fittings are fun. Schedule your fitting today. As you can hear from AJ, for a limited time, you could save up to 20% on your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/foul. That's pxg.com/foul to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/FOUL. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
A big thank you to PXG for helping support the show. I saw Przinsky got a putter. I still haven't got my irons, so I'm wondering what's going on here. Jeremy, help me out here. But let's talk more about the series that we just saw. Trevor May might still be asleep. We don't know, so maybe Trevor will have to join us another day. But part of that series with the Rockies, one of the good things we saw was the bottom of the lineup start to come to life. Max Muncy, we talked about it in the postgame. Muncy taking some walks, a nice game from Andy Pages, good enough to get the post-game interview with Kirsten Watson and our friend Juan Dorado translating for him. Austin Barnes picking up his first hit of the season. Hey, you know what? Maybe all the rumors of the Dodgers' demise were greatly exaggerated early in the season.
Again, I still think, these guys are at the bottom of the order for a reason, right? I mean, they're not the top tier hitters that are expected to be the ones that are driving in runs and scoring runs. Certainly not driving in runs, rather, so it's like, you just hope that you have enough consistent production from the bottom. You can't rely on it, but if you have enough consistent production from the bottom of the order that helps lengthen out the lineup, that's all you can expect. Again, this is the second or third time we've actually said, hey, Andy Pages has had a good game. Yep. So, again, it's the third weekend of the season, and for those of us, all of us who were criticizing, we also have to give him the respect. 2 for 4 with 3 RBI, so that's good to see in terms of that. He's still not a true center fielder, but again, like we were talking about with the starting pitchers that are young, if you're thrown out there, you better make the most of your opportunities, because there will be somebody, although I don't know in this organization who that's going to be, because we don't have a true center fielder, but you like to see Muncy going 2 for 3, because we talked about this at length, that Muncy is a power hitter, home run hitter, or he at least used to get on base with the walks. The OBP was there. He didn't strike out a lot, and he had been striking out a lot this season. So the 2 for 3 was good to see. And we joke that Austin Barnes, the real AB Sam, as Chase Utley used to call him, finally got his first hit. But Austin doesn't get a ton of time to play either. So I'm going to give Austin Barnes a bit of a pass. I mean, he's not our starting catcher. And he's the longest tenured guy on this team, with the exception of Clayton Kershaw. So you better put respect on the real AB, if you will. But yeah, to your point, the bottom part of the order got the job done. Again, giving Bobby Miller quite the cushion, and it still gave a 6 spot.
When talking about respect and Muncy, I know Max Muncy is amongst Dodgers fans, especially. We see it in the chat. We see a lot of chats as well here around the internet. Just he doesn't get the love. He doesn't get the respect he needs. He deserves. He's even if you're old school and you see the batting average, the batting average is never going to be sexy with Max Muncy. That's not his game. His game is hitting dingers, like Big Al. He's out there to hit dingers, and I'm down with OBP. Yeah, you know me. He's somebody who gets on base as well with a lot of walks, and we're starting to see that. And I talked about that a little bit on Monday on my show. We talked about it in the postgame. When you start to see Maxwell Silverhammer Muncy getting his walks, it means something good is happening. And Dave Roberts talked about it in the post game either last night or the night before. Starting to see those walks. Max is starting to see the baseball a lot better, and when he sees the baseball, he hits baseball. Baseball go boom, baseball go far. Max will be fine. I know you see in the chat as well a lot people still clamoring for Nolan Arenado. That trade isn't going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Probably never going to happen. But I'm comfortable continuing to give Max Muncy this time, because you don't need somebody to plug into your 3 or 4 or 5 hole in the lineup. And Max, he's down in the 6-7 spot, and he's going to just keep the line moving and eventually going to start, like I said, hitting some dingers and being cool, and we'll be happy again.
I remember, first of all, I did not anticipate a Naughty by Nature reference in Dodgers territory today, so I'm very proud of you. I know that you're down with OBP. Yeah, you know me. But Sarah is also bringing up a good point that they were missing Teo too, right? I mean, Teo missed a couple of games, so that affects the order of the lineup. And I remember having a conversation with Max. I don't know if it was on Dodgers territory or foul territory. I think it was on foul, where I was like, what do you think you bring to this club? And I wasn't trying to be like facetious. I was like, really, like, what do you find is your role to this club? And he's like, consistency in the lineup. I mean, when he always, he forces guys, at least he certainly did last year. He forces guys to throw a ton of pitches, right? Because he has good plate discipline. He draws a lot of walks. So even if he's not hitting the long ball, and it's just a solidifying and calming force in that lineup. You know what you're going to get from Max Muncy. And I think that he's kind of gotten away from that a little bit, maybe getting out of his approach. I certainly don't want to talk about his stance or anything like that, not the mechanics of it. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what Max needs to get back to, is just playing his own game and his own style, not chasing, just, being patient at the plate, that selective discipline. And that's what he brings you. He brings you that consistency. And I think Max will get back to that. And maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that with the 2 for 3 that we just saw. But make no mistake, when you don't have Teo in the lineup, that shifts everything. Just like not having Blake Snell in the rotation. It matters. It moves guys around.
And keep in mind, they also didn't have Will Smith in the lineup last night, and they still, put up a 7 spot, or 7 spot in the first inning. Rest in peace, Herman Marquez, who had absolutely nothing going for him. Thank you for stopping by. They did all that damage without, Mookie posted another 0 for Will, not in that lineup, who's been such an important run producer for this team. By the way, we talk about that Shohei bomb. That thing went like 9,000 feet or something.
How about
like that.
Mookie's foul ball almost killing Shohei in Austin?
You don't want to see that.
I mean,
we don't want to see that. Let's go ahead and keep it. Keep it fair. Keep it between the lines there, Mookie. Let's take a moment to I guess spin forward, look ahead at what the Dodgers have coming up, and this is more so for us to enjoy as well, because we got some crazy pitching matchups coming up against Corey Seager's Texas Rangers. But you got DeGrom versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's something
and our social media guy Michael. He's been. I mean, he's had this damn thing circled on his calendar forever. He's a big old Texas Rangers fan. Although I give him crap for wearing an LA Dodgers hat. But anyway, but this is cool. He's right in terms of the Jacob DeGrom, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yeah. This is awesome. Big old Nate Eovaldi, Roki Sasaki. That'll be Sasaki's
former
fifth start
Dodger
of this
great.
season.
Nathan Eovaldi.
Former Dodger, great. And then Tyler Mahle, obviously, against Tyler Glasnow or also Oppenheimer, however you want to look at it. So I'm excited for this matchup. I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup. We'll see Corey Seager, we'll see Jock Peterson, although Jock has had a struggle to the beginning of the season, but I do feel like Jock Pop will get back.
He just needs to find a new stance. He likes changing the stance, changing the hands every couple of minutes. That's sort of Jock's thing. I'm really surprised because that, if I recall, that ballpark in Texas is every bit of a hitter's ballpark. I'm surprised Jock hasn't found it. It'll come. It'll
come for Jock. Hopefully it does not come over the course of this weekend, but I think it will come for Jock Peterson and young Jock, if you will. But yeah, this is a good series because I like to see how we fare against pitchers, and I think all three of those guys are aces as far as the I was about to call them the Yankees, the Rangers are concerned.
Hey, between the two of our Japanese aces, who are you more excited about watching? Like Yama, my Cy Young pick. I'm so far looking pretty good with that one, or seeing another start under Roki Sasaki's belt and continuing to build.
The thing that I am excited to see is just the continued development. Again, and we just talked about it. Like you can't develop within a game, right? But you can develop in the bullpen sessions and those types of things. And I think having his third start of the year was the best, I think. And I'm excited to see what he can do in the fifth inning. However, in his fifth start. But how long can a pitcher get away with just having two pitches, right? I think that's the biggest thing. I know they continue to work with him on another off-speed pitch. But again, the league will catch up to you. So I'm interested to see the development of that and how he adjusts. Yama's been really, really good. And to your credit, he looks every bit of a Cy Young Award candidate for this season. And I'd like to see, I always like watching Oppenheimer pitch. So I'm excited about this season or this series. I think
it's a great series. And then after that, a nice Monday off day, 2 more with the Cubs. And then mercifully, we are done facing the Chicago Cubs. I'm very much looking forward to not seeing the Cubs for a little while. But good stuff against you got the 2023 World Series champions facing the 2024 World Series champions, Bruce Bochy and his enormous head hanging out there in the dugout. It's going to be a fun time.
He just turned 70. Happy birthday, Bruce Bochy. His grandson threw out the ceremonial first pitch to him the other day, Braxton Bochy.
So we're going to talk more NOS as we come back from this. But first, we need to let you guys hear from AJ Przinsky and Scott Braun about Arena Club.
Todd Father, I love the way that modern technology has changed the way that we buy, sell, trade cards, even rip packs. They're called slab packs, and they're on Arena Club. No more shuffling through everything. The common cards are all over the place. Stuff's getting folded out and all messed up. Arena Club keeps it nice and tight in your digital showroom. And then when you want that card and you want to show it off, what do? You just let Arena Club know.
Let them know and grab it and take it with you. Show it off online. I think this is huge just because the fact that you talked about cutting the corners. You want to get a card that doesn't break or doesn't have a problem with it, go right to Arena Club. They have everything you need. Easy money right there for really, really good, exceptional cards.
After your pulls are revealed, they'll immediately be placed in your vault for safekeeping or trading and selling. Right now, 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FOUL and use code FOUL. That's arenaclub.com/FOUL, code FOUL for 20% off your first purchase.
All right, I always appreciate the opportunity to talk about a dog that needs a home, and this is Malibu. She's 2 years old. She's looking for a forever home. She is in a foster home right now, but she's looking for her forever family. She's so chill, guys. She's great with kids and other dogs. Fully vaccinated. She is spayed. She's potty trained. She is active, though. She likes to run around and play, but she's also a snuggle buddy. If you're interested in learning more about Malibu, please reach out, GoodreadsGuardian.org, or hit me up on any of the socials. I think we... anytime we can get a dog a home, it's awesome. By the way, an update for you. Brooklyn has officially been adopted as well. Brooklyn and Dodger. Yay! They were the ones that were found outside, dumped by Camelback Ranch in Arizona, and they both have found homes. So thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. Awesome. All right. Are we talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks, Clint Pasillas?
Check this out. Of course, our Foul Territory Network continues to grow. We now have a Diamondbacks show. Snakes, what is it called? Snakes something around Snakes Territory. That makes enough sense. One of the hosts there, Jesse Friedman, joined the Foul Boys, I think today, talking about the state of the Diamondbacks, because obviously the Diamondbacks, we expected entering the season were going to be a very, very good ball club. But everybody is a very good ball club outside of the Colorado Rockies when you're talking about the National League West. But I guess there is some conversation that they had today that I think we can kind of have a little fun with before getting out of here. So let's listen to Jesse Friedman and the boys.
I mean, I've covered pretty much every Diamondbacks Dodgers game in person here over the last few years, whether in Arizona or over in Los Angeles. And the Diamondbacks have played the Dodgers really tough over the past few seasons. Granted, part of that is that Christian Walker would just turn into a superhuman every single time he entered Dodger Stadium. He had one of the most unbelievable 3-game series that I've ever seen there last July. I think he hit 4 home runs over the course of those 3 games. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like without him on this team anymore. But yeah, I don't think that the Diamondbacks are intimidated by anyone in this league. And based on what we've seen from them so far, and certainly what this starting rotation I think still could be if Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen and some of these guys that you expect to be really good kind of find their way. I think they certainly can compete when they're playing the Dodgers.
It's always about the Dodgers. Not wrong. It's always about
he's
the
not,
Dodgers.
I mean, but if you, we have set the bar. So if you're always trying to see how you measure up, you're going to measure up to the team that just won the World Series. You're going to try to measure up to the team that wins the division damn near every year for the last 12 years, minus that one season that the Giants bested us by 1 game. But Jesse's right. Souls, I mean, Christian Walker turned into, He-Man. And then, the Dodgers have not always played the Diamondbacks well. But if you take a look at the NL West, Clint, right now, San Diego Padres at 15-4, San Francisco at 13-5. Some folks would say San Francisco's strength of schedule has been pretty soft, but whatever. They're still winning the games that they should be winning.
As well.
The Dodgers are 14-6, the Diamondbacks 11-7. So each team obviously is well above 500 in terms of their respective win-loss record. But if you take any of those and you look at the American League, Clint, right now, the best record in the American League
is 11-7, which is what the
11-7, which is the Yankees are, and which is what the Arizona Diamondbacks. So not only would the Padres, the Giants, but the Dodgers would also have the best record in the American League if you move them from the senior circuit to the junior circuit. So this is a fun division, and this is what you want, right? You want the adversity, you want the best teams to play, because then when you get to the postseason, you know that you've been tested.
I'm going to throw this one on the screen because I can, and I see it right here. Kenny Chung, the NL West is brutal and will continue to be the most competitive in MLB this season. Fully agree with that, and we talked about that with Dave Roberts. We talked about that with Dino Ebel as well, and we also talked about it ourselves here on the show, especially, after the Dodgers won the World Series. The importance of the Dodgers having good competition, particularly in the division. That just helps everybody. It helps them play better. Playing for something meaningful down the stretch, it helps. They have the mindset of still trying to. They don't have to restart. Essentially, like what we saw in years past. 2019, I mean, they locked up the division super early. I think the same in 22, 23. They just play better when they're playing for something towards the end of the season. Keeps the competitive juices flowing, and then you get into the postseason, and you don't get bounced by the Diamondbacks or the Padres in the first round. So this is good. This is what I always wanted. I want the NL West to be good. And I would like to start playing some NL West teams, by the way. Freaking schedule.
I know how we don't play. I don't think we play the Padres until like mid-June, right? I mean, it's something insane. But I love the rivalry. It has, and I used to be the one that was like Giants and Dodgers. That's the rivalry. Dodgers and Padres, not the rivalry. It is more of a recency rivalry. But I like it. I like when these two teams are good. It's just better for baseball. It's better for the division. It's better for the fans. It's better for LA. It's better for San Diego. All of these things. Clint, before we go on our final thought here, I know you don't have a show tonight because they don't play, right?
Bar. I'm going to the bar tonight.
Oh,
that's what
okay. All right. Well, that's something maybe for another show called Alcoholics Anonymous.
I will be dropping a video on the channel. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Before we say goodbye, much love and respect out to the great Manny Moda, who just recently, I can't talk, suffered a stroke, but he's doing really well. I had a conversation with his son, Jose Moda, who's also on the Dodgers Spanish broadcast, and he's doing really well. He's recovering nicely. They don't anticipate any long-term effects of anything. So we love you, Manny. He's a Dodger staple, obviously. He's always at spring training, driving his little bike around. We love you, and we're thinking about you. So Clint and I are going to be back on Monday. So tune in, bring a friend, smash that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you guys always being with us. We do this for you. We appreciate you very much. So we'll see you then. Until then, go Dodgers.
Bye.